Hello and welcome in, guys. Today we are here. So I went and played 9 holes yesterday. We did our walk. I ended up flaring up some of my old injuries because we are still making sure to maintain those, and because I've increased my rehab training, which I do at the gym and at my home gym. When I say home gym, it's in the garage, but yeah, with like the stuff I do at home, I've just over fatigued it a little bit. And because where the bag was rubbing was on one of my old injury sites. But in saying that, let's get to what we did today. Today was meant to be short and mid irons. We didn't end up doing that. We did our wedge work onto the green, so we did some chipping and putting for about an hour. And then at the end, we just did 30 minutes of just some iron practice with the 9-iron, mostly doing shot shape. I was super tight today, so I ended up topping a couple of the balls I shouldn't have, along with just working on foot placement for my draws and adjusting with that how I wanted the ball to sit. But we'll get onto that in a second. So chipping, I ended up just chipping at about 20 to 30 balls at a time onto the green, and then putting a certain amount into the hole, like however many fit. This really helped. I was trying a couple of different shots with this as well. I did some punch and runs. I tried some more aggressive, because I tend to do high spin shots. I normally just get either do a flop shot or a high spin shot just to get it sit wherever I hit it. Now with this, I didn't really have that issue today because I wasn't trying to spin it as much. So basically what I was trying to do, still keeping somewhat of a spin rate so it didn't run too far for certain shots, but was also trying to get that little bit more of a run out, because in the area we live in, a lot of the greens we have are quite slow. Because we live out in the west, the greens aren't always as high standard as you expect from, like, a country club or something like that. So we tend to either get super fast or super slow greens, depending on overgrowth and factors like that, as well as green type. So here, this green has some damage to it. It has like a heap of water sitting under it, so it tends to grow a little bit quicker than the other greens in the area. So it will have patches of thicker grass and shorter grass, as you'll see. The ball will grip better at times, even with the same amount of spin, like in the next shot or whatever. So see that shot there? It kept running. It was the exact same type of shot, same distancing with that bounce, just different position where it hit on the green and different run. So here we just worked our way through chipping. I really enjoyed this, actually. It's nice to have like a day off where you sort of recover, it's not too intense, and you get to sort of break down what you're trying to work on. And here, this is something that I'm definitely working on, which is my putting reading and my putting positioning. Now, I was having a thing a couple of games back where I was really aggressive with my putting, so like trying to sink longer putts that I shouldn't have. And I was tending to overhit the hole, so like I was putting too long. On today, I was putting short on a couple of the longer putts that would have actually drained it, but it was into a range where I was able to putt easy, just as like a tap in for a 2-putt. But with those putts, at least I know I'm increasing my reading on it. But let's get back to the chipping. So here, we have 3 holes on this green. Now, one of the holes is slightly plugged up, in the sense of the flag just kept moving around, and I didn't feel like removing and like picking up the flag every 5 seconds, so I sort of just left it and just putt balls to it, and they sort of just sat out of the hole. I tried a couple of different shots here with the 58. Getting them to bounce how I wanted to and sit in those correct positions was a little bit more difficult than it normally is, because I could do like a dead straight shot, but it may hit this little upper ridge, or the upper ridge that goes around it. And it could go anywhere depending on which way it is rolling. For this, I then changed positions and tried different shots into it to see which would get me the best and most like reliable roll towards whichever hole I was aiming for each time. I didn't do too many at this back hole here just because it runs too much back, and I would have to go back to my regular high spin chip to get it to sit. And what I was trying to work on here was something a little bit different, something that I don't normally do with my chips. What I also worked on was those punch and runs, so catching that front of the green and letting it run up towards the hole. And the hard thing about on this was making sure to gauge it correctly, because we have that long grass just in the front of it. It definitely takes all of that power out. I was sitting about 20 to 35 meters off the green for this, just to make it a little bit easier. And give me that rough idea of how to hit it in. After that, we went on to putting. My putting, nothing special really. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a bad or like the best putter. I would say I'm a consistent putter. Um, like, even on long putts, I will tend to be able to get it in two. Like, I'm not too bad. Anything like within a meter around it, I quite regularly putt in quite easily, going up to that 2 to 3 meter mark. As long as I've got the line right and I've sort of used to the greens, it's a little bit easier to putt them in. But when I'm not used to it, I tend to either leave them a little bit short or lag them a little bit where they lose that power and break too early. So that is something I am working on, and I work on it here a little bit. So I do my putts for each hole. I sort of choose my balls wisely. I do walk across the line of a lot of them, but there is just so many balls on this green here that I didn't want to waste time trying to step over everything correctly. If it was a normal game where there's only like 1 to 3 ball or 1 to 4 balls on the green, then yeah, I adjust the line. I did try to be a little bit careful with it because I sort of tried to pick out the balls that I thought were going to be the best for putting training. As you see there, absolutely drained that one, beautiful. But yeah, no. So I just worked on like small things around the green. For most of it, this was the first set I did. So I did like, I think it was like 5 sets through this. Each one took about 10 to 15 minutes just to reset up, clean everything up, and just go again. That's why it was about an hour and 15 for the chipping and putting roughly, and then just really nice and short towards the end. Of just hitting that 9-iron because it's something that I haven't been able to hit too much. It is from the new set I got, which is a second-hand set, but it's new to me. I haven't got to use it in my last 3 games, if I remember correctly. So I really wanted to get out there and just give it a swing. I know that, it would be similar to the 8 and the pitch, but I'm so used to hitting those clubs. I didn't want to be just too reliant on them and not have that. So it was nice to get some shot shape practice and not worry about hitting it too far with this. So there is about 15 minutes worth of 9-iron practice I did. 15 minutes recorded. But in saying that, I'm not going to show the whole 15 because this video will go on forever. This is why I only showed one part of the chipping and putting. That way you can see what I'm sort of doing on the days that I have off, when I'm not at the gym doing my rehabilitation and training, and when I'm not playing the courses. I have started playing the courses a little more frequently than range days and stuff starting last week, because my shots are a lot more consistent now, and I'm hitting roughly anywhere between like 5 to 10 over max for 18. I've been able to bring down that score. The main thing that I'm finding is failing me is my course understanding, and I'm slowly growing on that, and that's where a lot of this like effort goes into outside as well. Of course, if I can do things like this, that way when I get to course, I'm a little bit better at reading the greens, a little bit better at reading where to put the chips and things like that. It does build a lot of confidence. As you can see there, I putted really short. I didn't even consider. So if I had remembered that line from when I chipped, I would have known that line ran really really slow, just because it's quite dense there. So that when you step on it, it sort of sags a little bit. So it loses that momentum, but I drain these putts pretty easily. Reason why I'm just doing these putts even from this distance is just getting that muscle memory and making sure I'm continuing that practice for the long run. So nice easy there. So with the 9, we're doing some shot shape practice. I've been really stiff the last 2 days. I'm going to get a massage. My back was really tight through the upper back, and you will see it on this shot. I was meant to do a fade. I was talking through. I'd done like the previous 20 shots were all perfect. This one was just shocking. Ended up just doing like a chunk draw. Just had it also in the wrong position in my stance. But not an awful shot, but not what I was aiming for. This very next shot, I go to do the fade again, because fade is my natural shot shape. The draw is what I've been working more on. As you can see, nice little draw. Nice little fade. Then you go that left to right. From there on, I do a couple of shots to the straight with my natural shot shape, so it has that small fade at the end to get it to sit. It is my preferred shot shape as well. Reason why I say that is I'm still relearning my carry distances. Like my average full 9-iron carry distance is around 155 meters. Can go up to about 165, but where I'm comfortable and know it's going to land is around that 150, 155. I can push it a little bit, but as I said, I'm going off what I'm comfortable with. Today was mostly just 3/4 pace. I was too stiff to sort of get that full pace going. As you'll see here, I'm just really tight on my backswing and a little bit lagged through my actual full swing. So there, you can see I pick up a little bit of pace there, but not too much. I'm just working on that control. So I'm working on straight and with a small fade to maintain my normal arc. These ones are going to be what I call my balloon shots because I like them to go high and sit. These are the ones I approach my par 3s with. Par 3s that have about 140 to the pin, sorry, about 155 to the pin, this is perfect for. Because I can also just bring it back to about that 140 range and get it to spin and sit without worrying about hitting it too high. For example, with pitch and wedge, I can carry the pitch and wedge up to 140, but if I spin it too much, it may sit me too far to that front of the green. Where the 9-iron, I can reduce that intensity and that power a little bit and just get them to sit. So yeah, that's all we really worked on today. Going to be having a day off, just doing my gym and stretches tomorrow, and then on Thursday we will be back at the course. Be playing I'll be playing 9 because 18 is next week, but doing just quick 9 holes in the cart, allowing myself to recover, playing some different shot shapes, playing some different plans, and see how that goes.